you can't expect Lafreniere to do good out of the gate. Nowadays, it takes a little while for that first overall pick to really get it going, especially in the U.S. Especially in the U.S. development program. That's they're just always a step behind somehow.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the Underrated Podcast, the podcast where we talk to you about sports and basically the entire world or surrounding sports. We're back. Hello, it's just us two now. Now, we don't have a guest, obviously. That's why we haven't been uploading.
Hi.
We're having trouble finding guests, so we're just going to do it with us two. And we thought we'd take you through all the recent sports news. We're only covering two topics today, but recent sports news within those two topics. So it's going to be
exactly.
Yeah. It's so NHL season obviously started just a few weeks ago, probably 2 weeks ago now. And then the Super Bowl now from the NFL is upon us. It's in about a week and a bit, which is crazy that the season has gone this far. I remember watching week 1, and we're just going to talk about those two topics. And we hope you guys enjoy. So let's get right in. Let's not waste any more of your
speaking of week 1, abrupt topic. The NWHL season started, and also the Toronto Six have been kind of bad. The Toronto Six have been bad, but they've been kind of expectingly bad because they're an expansion team. You just gotta sit there and go, eh.
I mean,
it's hard. There was a wicked hit. There was a wicked hit in the first game, and that was like probably the highlight of the year. It was awesome.
Well, I mean, it's hard
awesome
to follow up expansion teams too. Like the only expansion team to really have a super successful year was Vegas in 2018, and then they got shut out by you know who in the Stanley Cup Finals. So I mean, I don't know how you can repeat that.
They didn't get shut out, genius. They beat them 4-1.
It was 4-1, but they got shut out in 4 straight games. They were up 1-0, then got shut out 4 straight games.
Hey, if you want to talk about terrible expansion teams, I have a good example right behind me.
This guy has 2 defunct jerseys on his door, and if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, I feel bad for you because you can't see it. But you can.
I have 4, but I don't have enough of these swivel hangers in order to hang them all. But I do have the maroon, really ugly one. I have the away version that is most common with that Patrick Steffen photo of him holding it up, and then I have these 2 for just no reason. But I don't have the blue
maroon ugly one,
the stripe down the bottom.
I have the.
Everyone called it the football jersey, which I can agree with. But it is really ugly, but it works in today's Adidas styling, surprisingly.
See, it's ugly, but you still got it because you want to complete the collection, right?
Exactly. I'm missing one, just a solid one, and it's like this version of it, but the older Reebok. Yeah, it's that weird, it's basically this jersey, but with. I know I'm missing 2. I am missing the Thunderbird version, which is like the red version of the white, weird, stripy one. And I'm missing that red one. And I'm missing the blue version, the older version of this. I'm pointing to the right one.
I love how you just suddenly got into the Atlanta Thrashers, and now you're just fully obsessed with collecting all of their jerseys for absolutely no reason. Oh, yeah. Absolutely no reason.
Funny enough, it started because a friend of mine who now runs the Oshawa Generals Twitter account, hello Brayden, he basically, what he did was he told me that he basically said to me, I told him how I kind of like the Thrashers jerseys, and he said that the team was terrible and the jerseys suck, and I was just like, all right, thanks, now time to collect them all.
And now,
and funny enough, I got this one for $60. I've not seen them under 100 now.
Have you talked to him?
Which is
within
hilarious.
The past few days where you had all of the jerseys?
Yeah, I have actually.
What does he say?
Does he kind of has just like brushed his side, like, all right, we get it. But yeah, we still talk. It's kind of funny.
We get it. I feel the same way. It's like you got one jersey. I'm like, well, this jersey is pretty cool. And then you just keep getting like, oh my god, here we go. What? And he's like, oh, I'm getting a new jersey. I'm like, oh, we can already guess what that is. He found some jersey for 140 or whatever he thinks is cheap. For just for
anyone who doesn't know me, I'm really good at finding jersey steals. For some random reason, I'm like the best at finding steals for jerseys.
You're just at the perfect place at the
for
perfect
no
time.
Random reason.
And especially, I hate when
like this one was $140 on sideline swap, and again, I cannot find these things.
Yeah, I hate when you go on eBay and then you find something you like and then it's auction and not buy it now.
Yeah.
I hate that so much because I always forget to
Oh,
put buy
that's
it
the
now.
word. I'm looking at I'm looking for I think I'm looking for like a vintage like game console or something. I think it's like a Sega Dreamcast. I don't know. And I keep on finding like, oh, this was like like $100. Sweet. I look auction.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I just sat there like,
auction is annoying. Auction is very annoying. But anyways, NHL season.
It's so annoying. Especially when you think like, how is this $3?
True, and kind of on the topic of jerseys, the NHL beforehand the season they released these new reverse retro jerseys. I'm actually wearing the Capitals one right now, and it's pretty damn fire if you ask me. Pretty fire if you ask me. That's why I'm wearing.
I'm wearing what the Blues should have done for the reverse retro, the ugly trumpet concept from the '90s. Hey, St. Louis Blues, respond to my Twitter DM. I know you saw it. I know you saw it, Blues.
But the Blues reverse retro is
this is what they should have done.
But the Blues reverse retro is kind of like that. It's in the era.
I mean, it's the
not
same
a great
style, but it's just ugly. It's not that great of it. The red, they should have done with the red. They should have gone to the white version.
Yeah, it's not a great jersey, but it's in the era, and it's kind of going towards the jersey that you currently have on. And then just the other jerseys that were really nice. Colorado Avalanche. I like the bring back of the Quebec Nordiques, which was fantastic.
The maroon is sacrilegious, but it's really nice. And I do think that Quebec could come back.
But I love how people always ask me either in like if you're here from you may know me from TikTok. I do TikTok videos. Hello. But I've seen so many people.
I don't. Hello as well.
And they're like, well, why is it called reverse retro? And I get so many of these. And I think I know the answer, but I'm not sure. But it's like reverse, which is like their colors,
because
ultimate color, and then it's retro because it makes sense.
That you've got the exact point. It's basically old style retro jerseys, which for some random reason teams have been doing anyway. So the NHL figured, well, money, and basically they thought, let's just reverse the colors to today's style. Huh? And of course, the Islanders thought, how about no?
Yeah, the
Islanders one's ugly. It's not ugly. It's just boring.
The Islanders want a shade of blue dark.
I think they went back to the early 2000s into like the 2010s when they had that style, but they claimed it was from the 70s during their Cup era. It's like, no, you just made it. You just went into Photoshop, select color, pick the blue, and just darkened it.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like if they were on the ice two different times and you didn't know which one they wore the reverse retro, you would say that they're both the exact same jersey because that's how similar they look.
If the Jets had worn this jersey and the Islanders had worn their reverse retros, you would think it was 2010. You go, oh my God, like is Tavares back on the Islanders?
Well, the Jets jersey, I don't think is that. I mean, it's not that creative. It just changed the color of the jersey.
I don't think it's that bad.
The alternate,
I don't think there's not that many styles that they could use from the original Jets. Like the original Jets had one where it just looked like your generic NHL 20 created team jersey. And the other one was that like stripe one that everyone loves.
I mean, if they brought back the Atlanta Thrashers, like why couldn't they? Because like, I mean, you could have.
Well, I think the thing is, it's the same reason why the Dallas Stars don't use Minnesota, and it's because they don't associate it with their history. Also, to the one guy on Twitter that responded to me, no. So basically, what it happens is that the Jets came from the Thrashers, but they don't want to associate themselves with the Thrashers. They want to associate themselves with the old Jets. They want to think that, we're back again, and not just because the NHL had two failing teams and one had to go. Again, it's the same reason with Dallas and Minnesota.
They did absolutely nothing in the NHL. They made the playoffs once. They did nothing in the NHL.
They gave you Ilya Kovalchuk and Vander Kane and so many other legends.
And they gave you
also we have had Marian Hossa as well. Danny Heatley All-Star. There you go.
I do
Mr. 1507
in a jersey. Well, and then we also bring on jersey collectors such as
Marian Hossa was a Thrasher.
Such as yourself, a jersey collector of.
Whenever someone in the jersey community gets one of these jerseys, everyone just has a mutual appreciation of just, it's nice. You have one as well.
you have one as well.
One or you don't.
Wasted your money on a defunct team. But But more going into kind of
you're a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so you got pretty close to that.
but more going into the actual NHL season as we're transitioning towards kind of week 2 or week 3 of the season. Early power rankings. What do we think? Who is the number 1 team to watch right now in the NHL?
Habs, no question. I can admit that without bias. Habs, no question. I have watched every single game of them this season. They have been one of the most exciting, fast, young teams out there. And I can admit that I do believe NHL and NBC got it right with the Habs at number 1, because here's the thing. They put Vancouver's goal differential literally in the double digits, like in the negative double digits. It was insane what they can do.
And honestly,
this team on paper looks good and on the ice looks good.
I can't even disagree. Yeah. I mean, you could say Vegas, and I'm sure you're expecting us to say Vegas because Vegas is one of the best teams, if not the best team.
We're not saying Vegas because that team has had the easiest schedule.
That's what I'm saying.
They have had such a ridiculously easy schedule.
Yeah, they're in a pretty easy.
Like division. What, Arizona?
Exactly, Arizona. What, LA? Like you expect these teams to beat the Vegas.
They've had a stupidly easy schedule.
That's what I mean.
Everyone was walking in. Everyone either thought the Habs are going to do. Yeah, I was about to say everyone thought the Habs were either going to do really well or the exact same as last season because they were in a tough division. In my opinion, I'd say the North is one of the more tougher divisions in the NHL, specifically because like 90% of those teams are playoff. Well, like over 70% of that like entire division is playoff competent, and for the Habs to come out there and just say, okay, let's see, trample through everyone and only have 2 overtime losses and no regulation losses. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure everybody's looking at the standings right now, depending on when this comes out. We're recording this in the time the Leafs are in first place, and don't say it because this is based on points. The Leafs have one more game.
That won't last long.
The Leafs have one more game, and I know that the next game isn't a guaranteed win, but still, you can't base off power rankings based off of points. Because there's 2 different schedules.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because what a lot of people think is that, the team is in first is the team at the top of the power rankings. No, it's how they perform. And the Leafs have performed like dog crap this year. Like me, I think I've talked with I think Steve Dangle and a bunch of others, and like we have all agreed, and like the hockey, we've all agreed this team is legit garbage. Like there's nothing on the ice that like impresses us. Like Matthews has underperformed and has complained the whole time. Nylander's been the only one who's been of noteworthy. And then your goaltenders suck. Like, what's his name? Soup is hurt. Campbell's hurt. And that was for people who want to debate that Tkachuk hurt him, he was straining. He strained his leg before the play, and then Tkachuk falling on him was just reassurance of, yep, I'm hurt.
Well, I mean that play was kind of iffy. Yeah, that wasn't both players. That was like initiation.
Well, yeah, I think that he kind of lost his balance on that one. I don't think he physically fell on him on purpose. I think it was just he kind of stopped and then, oh crap, there's players behind me. Oh crap, there's Campbell. Oh no, like that was that kind of play.
And I think the most entertaining division in the league is going to be the league that's like the Metro. Basically, all the teams in the Metro. Not because my favorite team is in the Metro, but I feel like that division is one of the hardest, if not the hardest in the league, other than the North.
Under normal circumstances, it would be, but I think that a lot of the teams have underperformed this season, surprisingly. I think a lot of teams in the Metro have.
Rangers?
Besides Washington.
I don't know.
It's called, they drafted Lafreniere and got overconfident, and then they were like, oh yeah, we'll do well this year. And then they walked right into that.
Islanders are... they're not impressing me too much.
They're a good team, but they're not good on paper. Like you look at this team on paper and you go, "Oh, this team should suck," and then they do okay, and you're like, oh, "Okay."
Same thing with the Buffalo Sabres. Like the Sabres aren't good on paper, but they somehow manage to win.
That team looks good on paper, but just underperforms every year.
Yeah,
like they always look good on paper.
Like
they always think, "Oh, this team might make the playoffs this year," and then they just.
They've got a good team, especially
signing. Taylor Hall's a good scoring option, but he's not what he was like a number of years ago, where everyone touted him was going to be the next big thing. He went to Edmonton. Edmonton traded him, and then he underperformed in New Jersey for 10 years before going to Arizona, underperforming, and is now in Buffalo.
Yeah, so I'm well known.
I have a feeling that Eichel might
played him 4 times.
Yeah.
Only lost 1, so we're okay. Only lost 1, I'm pretty sure. And then lost 2 to Pittsburgh, which is upsetting.
I think you guys, I think the Habs and the Caps are like the 2 only teams that have not lost in regulation yet.
Dallas and Florida. Because they've only played 2 games.
Well, Dallas is kind of a cheap shot. Especially Dallas played 2 games. And Florida will lose.
I think Florida's played 3 now. And oh my God, I saw a video. I think I still, oh my God. I saw a video on TikTok, and it was a Panthers fan. Oh my God, there's a Panthers fan. I know. But he made a video, and it was the takeaways from the Panthers game. I hope I still have it. I don't think I do.
Takeaways from the Panthers game.
Yes, and it sounds as bad as it looks. But regardless, he said that the Panthers are the best team in the league, which is automatically strike 1. Strike 1, but not the best team.
That's total false. What?
They have the best power play in the league.
Far.
Again, nope. I need to find the video. I forget what he said, but still, you can't say the Panthers are the best team in the league after 2 games.
No, but after 2 games, no. I think they're okay. That's all I think. I think they're okay. It's tough to judge, but I think they're okay. They're pretty similar to what they were last year on paper.
Yeah, I mean, but what can we do? What can we do? I mean,
especially for a tough year like this, it's.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember.
Dadonov, no, Ottawa had Dadonov. They lost Dadonov.
Sorry, they lost Dadonov. My bad. But he said that Bobrovsky is underpaid and super underrated.
Whoa! What? How? Hold on. No.
He was a steal. He was a signing steal.
No, Jake Allen was a steal. Freaking Corey Perry was a steal. Bobrovsky is overpaid.
That's very
He's
true.
really overpaid.
And I was like,
have you seen his contract? He's not making the couple million that he was in Columbus. He's making 10. And 10, and we've learned from Montreal, 10 million is a huge number.
Yeah, he's making 10 million to let in 3 goals a game. He has a 3 goals against average. He's let.
I think it's the Carey Price contract all over again, just minus the skill.
Minus the skill is kind of out of the picture at this point. But another team that's kind of impressed me is Minnesota.
Kind of out of the picture.
Minnesota is also pretty impressive. They came out of nowhere.
I think adding the offensive skill in Kaprizov was a really good move, and I think they've kind of fixed their goaltending situation, which for a while was just an old Dubnyk and whoever that other guy was. You can tell I don't like the Wild that much because I can't even remember who's on that team. I mean, but otherwise than that, everyone thought they were going to do well with Matt Zuccarello. That didn't work. So now basically Kaprizov's a good addition, but I don't think they're going to do much right now. Just kind of maybe wait a few years, and then you're going to start to see results from the Minnesota Wild because it's going to make a huge difference when Kaprizov's at his prime and everyone else seems to be a bit older.
And we wrote down something. It was a team that you feel have scored, as in they've done well drafting, they've done well signing, they've done well overall in the first 2 weeks, and a team that is bored. I get it. Scored bored doesn't make any sense, but it rhymes. Okay, so it does make sense. But a team that you expect to be good is boring, and then a team that didn't expect has scored. What are your 2 options?
For a team I think that has bored, I would kind of say somewhere along the lines of Arizona. I thought Arizona would continue on the hot streak they had last year, and they haven't. Not by much. And the team that has scored, I'm still going to go Montreal. The fact that they got 2 good depth pieces and Corey Perry and Michael Frolik for absolutely nothing, and that Romanov has played better than expected, that Josh Anderson has proved that he's worth that contract, and basically every free agent, every signing that Montreal had has been fantastic, and Romanov has been stellar. He has been like otherworldly good. Suzuki's still playing well, obviously. And Cole Caulfield looks just about as promising as anything, playing well in both the World Juniors and so far in college. He's been really good in college this year. So I think that if he makes the jump this year, the Montreal easily is still going to have another steal in their hands. But overall, I think that, again, my options are for scored Montreal and for board Arizona.
For board, I have two options here. I'm going to go with Edmonton because they have multiple superstars and they still can't manage to do anything in the North Division. They're 3-5, which is ridiculous. And another one is New York Rangers. Again, a bunch of promising rookies that haven't done anything. Again, give them time. Igor Shesterkin is still
a rookie's
still young.
Never. I was about to say, like, you can't expect a team full of rookies to be good off the bat, because then that really kind of says, because then when you have a team like that that's good out of the gate, that's like, if you have a team full of rookies, they're not going to do well in the NHL, because you have to have veterans, you have to have like good goaltending, you have to have everything else. You can't expect Lafreniere to do good out of the gate. Nowadays, it takes a little while for that first overall pick to really get it going, especially in the U.S. development program. They're just always a step behind somehow.
Absolutely, and I feel like you need to give the Rangers time. I mean, if you're a Rangers fan, you're already trying to trade away these aspects of the Rangers, don't trade them yet, because give them time. Like Shesterkin, he's still young, he's still trying to adjust to the NHL. Just give them time, and I'm sure they'll be up there. But for right now, based on the skill that they had going into the NHL, I'm gonna say they're bored. But a scored, I literally can't do any other team than Montreal Canadiens. I can't say anything else.
You can't do scored for Montreal?
No, I can't say anything other than Montreal for scored, because like Vegas, we all expect them to be good. Montreal, we expected them to be like potential playoff spots. Now
decent, they're like potentially that. They've been fantastic. Like,
I can't say that, but if they were put Caps, they get destroyed. Anyways, moving on. On the topic of kind of NHL and teams, if you were to pick a very, very way too early, shouldn't be told Stanley Cup champion, who are you going with based off of right now?
Habs, no question. That team, I feel like with the hot start that team has had, they will be one of the teams that goes far.
I can't really disagree with that, but I'm going to say Vegas, even though I hate Vegas with a passion.
Yeah,
I'm going to go Vegas only because I feel like they can beat those tougher teams in the different divisions. I think if the Habs were faced up against the Vegas Golden Knights, they wouldn't play as well as they usually do against the North Division. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me watching the Habs, but I don't know. I'll go Vegas.
Well, you have to look at the Habs as a different light than they were in the past few years. You can't kind of compare their rebuilding teams to their teams now, because if you do, you're going to see what you see from them, that they shouldn't be good, they shouldn't do well, why are they doing well? When you look at them from a different light, you're going to kind of see that team that, oh my god, like this team is fast, this team is big, this team has guys that can fight, this team has like really surprisingly good offense, and they have a good tandem. And when you look at them, you go, well, if this team is one of the top in the North, then out of the gate, they should be good against the other teams in the league if they're easily the top in the power rankings for practically everything.
Yeah, and this is one of the first times ever where some Eastern Conference teams can face Eastern Conference teams in the Stanley Cup Final. Same thing with West and West. It's very odd to hear that, but it's true. Like you have a Leafs fan, and
we're gonna go back to like the Adams and Smythe days.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like the Adams and Smythe days, wherever they went to East and West. Like we're going back that far.
Yeah, I mean, we're super excited to watch the rest of this NHL season, and we are going to keep on giving you guys continuous updates on the season, bring you guys more news about it, but more on to the NFL. The season is starting to end. The Super Bowl is not this Sunday, but next Sunday, and I'm super, super pumped for that. Obviously, because my team is in it, but early pick.
This Raiders fan had hope for the season, and then this Raiders fan was let down.
The Raiders fan should not have had hope.
Screw you, Jake. Screw you, John Gruden. Screw you, John Gruden.
If so,
our defense is terrible,
which is perfect. Yeah, you're a new NFL fan, which is perfect for what I'm about to ask you. Based off the season that you watched, or maybe watched highlights on, or watched players specifically, if you were to pick one team, did you watch the playoffs, or have you?
Kind of. Kind of.
Have you watched highlights?
Yeah.
All right. If you were to say what would your score pick or prediction be for the upcoming Super Bowl?
I think it will be close.
The game.
I think it'll be a very close game. I think it'll be close.
The game in week 12 between the Chiefs
and Bucks
ended up being 27-24 for the Chiefs in week 12. Same matchup. Right. Chiefs Bucks was 27-2012 for the Chiefs.
I think that 27-2012. Yes, we're going back to 2012, people.
24.
I think that honestly, I think that it'll be close. I just want to kind of point out the Madden curse struck finally. Whatever his name is, Patrick overrated Mahomes, kind of. Patrick Mahomes finally got struck down with the curse against the Browns. He got injured, but he's still in the frickin' Super Bowl, so God knows with him.
That was an interesting.
I think that it'll be close. I think that the score will be similar. I think that it'll be quite similar. I'm not sure exactly what it'll be, but I think it'll be close enough to that score. But I think it'll be an extremely good Super Bowl.
And I am, if you don't know who I am personally or don't know who I am as a sports fan, I'm super superstitious. So I'm not going to say anything based off the score. I'm not going to say anything because
I'm superstitious as well. I can't.
Because I'm going to jinx it. I'm not going to say anything. But afterwards, I'm going to I'm not going to do anything involving predictions because I'm going to jinx it. But regardless, I think it's going to be really good. That's all I'm going to say.
Also, if you want to know how superstitious I am, I won't play the Zamboni minigame in NHL 2K10 because whenever I do, I get blown out of the water for some reason. Whenever I do, so I do not play it because of that.
But this is a historic Super Bowl. So for the first time in 55 years of the Super Bowl, a home team is hosting a Super Bowl. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing the Super Bowl in their home stadium, Raymond James Stadium, which is the first that's happened the first time ever. And
who's the first? Who was the first team to do it? Oh God,
there was no. This is the first team to do it.
The first team to do it. I feel like there was a team that had done it before but got absolutely blown out. I forget who that was.
There was no team to do it. It was the Buccaneers are the first team to ever host a Super Bowl in their home stadium, which is crazy to think. And
the Vikings were close, but then they got let down, of course.
Yes, but to think of a team that signed a 42-year-old quarterback for $50 million for 2 years, who has 6 rings, could lead a team that was young to a Super Bowl. Does that mix?
Well, you got to remember, that's like the Avalanche trading for Patrick Waugh, because before that, they had hope, you could see it, but again, they were just missing something. And then you sign this disgruntled superstar who leaves their draftee team and then goes to another team. Maybe they could go along the same path, although I hate Patrick Waugh, so you got to put into context that it's freaking Tom Brady that you're going into. It's not like you're signing, Alex Smith or something to be your quarterback. You're signing one of the guys who is known to be one of the best to do it. So
note of one of the best. I'm standing by my point. We literally did a presentation on it in our first semester of school. I literally did a presentation on the greatest athlete of all time. I know you remember this, and it was Tom Brady.
Yes, I do remember it.
It was Tom Brady.
Alex had a really good point against you, but he got cut off by the bell, and he was so pissed about that.
What was it? Do you remember?
He didn't get that. Oh God, I don't remember. But it was one of them that would have absolutely destroyed you. You can ask him, but it was one of the points that would have absolutely basically destroyed you if he had have said it. But he got cut off, and I sat there like, oh, you were so close.
And you may be thinking to yourself watching this or listening to this that Tom Brady isn't the greatest athlete of all time because there's so many different athletes across the world. There's millions of athletes across the world that could be considered. Actually, there's not millions. There's thousands that could be considered to be the greatest athlete of all time. But when you come from a team that people thought was, I would say
Jordan's up there.
Yeah, obviously to know the greatest athlete of each sport.
Dude won every championship he played in, and in his last year led the Wizards to be competent by basically being the only guy in that team who was good.
Yeah, and I was thinking the other day, what does this mean if Brady wins the Super Bowl? What does it mean for Bill Belichick? I know you're probably thinking, well, what does the Brady and the Bucs have anything to do with Bill Belichick? Is that people thought that the Patriots' success was based off of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
System quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I mean,
people thought that Brady was a system quarterback and that Belichick was the genius behind it. He is the genius behind it, but you have to imagine it was freaking Cam Newton.
True.
Like, no one is expecting them to do anything with Cam freaking Newton. Like, if they have another quarterback as good as Brady and a head coach of Bill Belichick, I think they could do well.
And I'm not expecting Cam Newton to come back at all. I'm sure he's gone. And especially with Deshaun Watson requesting a trade today, as they were recording this, Deshaun Watson requested a trade from the Texans.
The funny thing is, I saw that one of the, I heard that one of the, I was about to say, I heard he was going to the Jets. Like, do you want to waste your career? Like, it's the Jets. What have they got to prove to themselves? Sure, they won one Super Bowl because the quarterback got cocky and said, "Oh, I think we're going to win." But other than that, they've got nothing.
I'm sure they'll pay him a ton of money, and they'll make money because fans will come for Deshaun Watson, or he'll go to the Patriots, which you could see the Patriots as maybe a playoff contender.
I could see the Patriots coaxing him. I honestly could see they're on the same boat as I think the Habs. I'm going to compare them to the Habs as well. They're on that boat of maybe they'll make the playoffs, maybe they won't, but you never know. I think that if they get a good QB in there, that they could do it. But I don't think that New England is as shiny of a free agency or even a trade spot as it was when Brady was there. I think I heard this from an ESPN reporter, I think a little while ago, that said that people didn't go there for Bill Belichick. They went there for Brady. They went to win with Brady, not Bill Belichick. Yeah. So I think that it's kind of the same thing as New York isn't a big free agency spot as now because that spotlight isn't there. Everyone either wants to go to LA or whoever's winning.
Well, and I think that's why the Bucs also stacked up.
Whoever the guys that went to the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I think that's why the Bucs also stacked up this season. Like, people want to play with Tom Brady. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to play with Tom Brady?
People want to play with Brady.
Leonard Fournette cut by the Jaguars.
Your stats get it.
Go for it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, and also you have to imagine, like, that Bucs team was terrible, but they had Jameis Winston. You had everything there. You just had Jameis Winston, and then ironically, he did good in New Orleans. So who knows?
I mean, he did good in New Orleans because he literally had one play in the
True. But again, as a backup QB to
Breeze,
as a backup QB to Breeze, you're not going to get much playing time because Breeze does everything.
Well, he might see playing time. He might see half and half playing time with Taysom Hill now that Breeze is expected to retire, and then we're all assuming he's going to retire. Yeah, I mean,
expected to retire. Watch Breeze come back like you thought.
Plot twist. But now we could see the Saints because Michael Thomas did nothing in the year. Michael Thomas had 0 touchdowns on the year. 0. I mean, don't Saints fans, don't give me that, oh my God, he was out for half the season. But the guy that scored, 16 touchdowns last season didn't score 1. The only one he scored was in the playoffs. That's it. He only scored 1. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe 2. 1 or 2. But
and also shout out to Nickelodeon for forgetting to cut their mics and getting the best like cuss out ever of a referee.
Oh yeah,
because that went about as well. That went about as well as anyone expected to. Oh, they're broadcasting an NFL game on Nickelodeon. Oh, that's not gonna go well. And then then that happens.
Yeah, the touchdown that Michael Thomas scored was the one where they put out like virtual slime on the thing. What was the point? What was the point?
That was Nickelodeon? Okay. That's cool. That was kind of cool in concept, but the graphics looked like dog crap.
True.
And I feel like now I heard a joke there somewhere that every kid's gonna disappoint their dad by running up saying, "Daddy, I'm now a Bears fan." After watching that game.
Well, Bears fans, especially have you seen the Football Bros on TikTok? Have you seen that?
I have. I don't even exist near TikTok. No.
Well, I mean, so they're two kids, right? 2 kids, probably about, I'd say, the ages of 12 and 13. I'm not sure exactly how old they are, but I'm going to show you. If you were to guess how many followers they have based off of one video, or maybe multiple videos, how many followers would you say they have?
A couple 100,000 to 1 million.
They have 2.7 million followers. 2.7 million. Crazy enough.
That's right, kind of.
Put in NFL commercials, and it was all based off of this one video, which is a fantastic, just so you know, fantastic video, but this is the one.
So good.
Right? I mean, you think that's a video that just like regular.
That was a good catch, but that's a good catch, but the problem is, how many times have we seen that catch before? We saw it with we saw it with Odell Beckham. We've seen every person has recreated that catch at some point, and that catch doesn't impress me at all.
I mean, that it impresses me because like it's just it's cool to see in slow motion. And you guys, if you guys are watching this, there's no way. But if you guys are watching this, you guys are doing fantastic. Keep putting out your content. But they do some weird stuff too. Like they do some pretty. Here, hold on. Let me find one for you. Let me find one that'll impress you. I think it's this one.
That's hard to do.
Good bop though. I don't even know. Okay, yeah. Throw the ball. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay.
That's what I mean. They deserve their followers. They deserve it for that. That's a hard catch to pull off.
It's like when people tried to say that Dude Perfect was it's like when people try to say that Dude Perfect was faked, and then they release like some bloopers of him just tossing, like him just trying it 100 times over. And if they tried to release that blooper footage, they would have like hours worth of content, because they just imagine the comedy times to get close and then they just miss.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. The NFL is a very broad topic, and I feel like anybody could recreate anything, and you'd be good at it. Like that's a pretty sick catch. Like that deserves 35 million views. I'm pretty sure that's what it got. That still NFL commercial noticed by the NFL. Bears fans. Again, unfortunate for them to be Bears fans.
Bears fans, your QBs are garbage, but the rest of your team is okay.
Unfortunate. I mean, Allen Robinson's okay. But yeah,
who was the pick after Mitchell Trubisky? Because it was someone like insanely good, and then there was just Mitchell Trubisky.
I mean, Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles.
I remember the pick after him was really good. Who was the draft pick after Mitchell Trubisky? Because I know it was like a really good NFL player that was picked right after him.
I'm not sure. I will check though.
Because it was like they picked they were really set on Mitchell Trubisky and picked him, and then all of a sudden then basically whoever was after him got a free steal out of whoever that was.
The next quarterback that went was Patrick Mahomes.
Bears, what are you doing?
But
who was the next player taken off them though?
Let's see who they could have taken. They could have taken Jamal Adams. They could have taken Christian McCaffrey. Patrick Mahomes. Who was the pick
right after him? Do you know?
Right after him was Solomon Thomas, a defensive end. I don't know if I'm saying that right, because I don't know if I'm saying that
Solomon
right. So sorry, NFL fans. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but like Corey Davis, Marshawn Lattimore, Deshaun Watson, like they could have had all of these guys, all of them.
Bears, what are you doing? Why did you like they were so close, and then they picked Mitchell Trubisky?
Exactly. Like.
It's like when the Browns picked Baker Mayfield. Everyone's like, why did they pick Baker? And then all of a sudden now he's really good.
Yeah, now he's pretty good. Like Joe Mixon went in the second round. Dalvin Cook went in the second round. What? Tre'Davious White second or first round, sorry. TJ Watt first round. And you pick Mitchell Trubisky.
That easily could have been a second round quarterback. That easily could have been.
Good job, Bears. Good job. Everybody, round of applause for the Bears. Round of applause. I mean, you didn't really have to pick a quarterback, but
they absolutely blew it.
Do what you want to do, because
this is off script, but MLB news. Yeah, MLB news. Springer, whatever his name is, I think it's George Springer. I can't remember his name. Signed with the Blue Jays. Honestly, decent signing. It's what they need. But considering his reputation, I think the Blue Jays were one of the only teams that were in on him.
Mhm.
I think the rest of the teams kind of knew his reputation and didn't want to take him. And then the Jays were just like, this is for us? Okay, thanks.
Exactly.
But in all honesty, it's not a bad signing. Yeah. I think also Chain Bloom, I know it's Heim or something like that, but I'm saying Chain Bloom for the fact that I just don't want to attempt pronouncing it. Has done some decent moves for the Red Sox. I've seen him make decent moves this year. Picked up Kike Hernandez, which is probably one of the best moves he's made so far because he's an all-around player, and that's exactly what we need, considering that we're talking about trading basically every single person on our team right now. But
yeah,
overall, not bad.
Looking at this draft, look, the guy Alvin Kamara went in the 3rd round. Alvin Kamara.
Who? Isn't it Kamara or is it Kamara? I have no idea.
I don't know. Kamara. Regardless of this, you know who I'm talking about.
Alvin Chevrolet Camaro. There you go.
Exactly. Like Chris Godwin, Kareem Hunt. Who else went? Cooper Kupp. Like, what do you
really had to hunt for that draft pick.
I mean, Bears and every other team that also missed out on these guys. Crazy to think, but we're super excited for the NHL season and the Super Bowl, and we really encourage you guys to watch Super Bowl. It's gonna be fantastic.
You know who also had draft troubles?
They had troubles. They had all-around troubles. That's what
they drafted terribly.
All-around troubles. But we do encourage.
The only thing they were missing, they had good offense, but their defense and goaltending sucked.
True.
Always.
But we do encourage you to watch Super Bowl and the NHL season. Super entertaining, and it'll be a good way to get through all of this stuff that's currently going on, whether or not you're in lockdown or not. But it'll be a super good way to get through it. And we hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Again, leave a like, leave a subscribe. It'll really help us a lot. And if you want to hear us talk about more topics, leave a comment below on what you guys want to hear, what our opinions on, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.